emanation point is, which is not in the middle of this sphere.
Your use of the mathematical metaphor here is not just an accident.
No, not at all, because mathematically we understand the idea of truth as modeling something experimental that we find in the real world. If someone says they have a truth and they use a spiritual sense, we tend to laugh at them. Well, your truth, whose truth is truth? But if these texts were canonized based on the fact that the sequence of letters was as precise and explicit as the sequence of digits in, say, a universal constant like pi, then we have a whole different understanding of what might have been meant by the various sages of these various traditions claiming they had the truth. Mm-hmm. This is the letter bet, bait. It's the first letter of the text of Genesis. It's the one translated in the. Its formal meaning is house. But God's not a noun, God's a verb. In Hebrew is a real mode language. That means the primary roots are verbs, not nouns. So it's not a house, it's housing. It's what a house does. Most people don't pay any attention to this. But in fact, if you can check the references, I think even David Bohm mentions this in the Quantum Reality book, which is so wonderful.
The I Ching. How many I Ching symbol is there? 64. And remember now, the yin and the yang we saw is a double torus. You'd be missing the geometry of the vacuum in the middle of singularity. But the 64 symbols of the I Ching gives you this. How? When I found this, I thought, oh, this is so sweet. It took me weeks, took me months to actually figure it out. I knew there was 64, there's 64 of them, and each of them are actually composed of full sticks and broken sticks. And each of the symbols are in opposition. So like 1 and 64, 2 and 63, they're all in opposition. And I realized, wait a minute, if you take 6 sticks, you put them in 3D space, which geometry would you get?
Tetrahedron.
A tetrahedron. Boom, 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 boom. You see? You need broken sticks to do the polar opposite of the tetrahedron. They have to be broken because the sticks intersect.
Could you do that again with a light off? Okay. And we don't need light straight.
Well, the video does. Boom, boom. Can everybody see this? You need a broken stick to go in between the other sticks to generate the opposite polar structure.
Wouldn't you like to see a positive LSD story on the news to hear what it's all about, perhaps? Wouldn't that be interesting just once? Today, a young man on acid realized that all matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration, that we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There's no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we're the imagination of ourselves. Here's Tom with the weather. Wow! Did you see the news? Something about how we're God's perfect and holy thoughts, and we live in His mind, and there's no reason to suffer or lack, ever. I thought it was sort of newsworthy. Then again, I was fucked up at the time, so who knows? Shit, man. It's got too many mixed signals, you know what I mean? A lot of our heroes are big drug users. It's tough for us, right? And when you're really down and out, you can always think, hey, if drugs are so bad for us, how come Keith Richards still fucking walks? Let's hear the Surgeon General's report on Keith. Little hole in the theory there. Surgeon General says drugs are bad, drugs are evil. Except for that guy. They work real well for him, but the rest of you,
The sound of the chorus of angels singing aerodynamics.
All these voices sound like a chorus of angels
until the S
singing
begins to crack.
aerodynamics.
Received via nature.
Restarting. Those are numbers. There's 3. The one before was 2. Base 10 numbers. Just start counting now. See how far we can get. 1. 7. Those are primes. 2, 3, 5, 7. Those are all prime numbers. And there's no way it's a natural phenomenon.
Okay. 101. The pulse sequence through every prime number between 2 and 101.